So we can get started. So this is the January, no, it's not. This is the June 8th, boiling hot too. It's the June 8th meeting of the Beautification Commission. And the first thing we're going to do is approve the minutes from April 13. But the other reason I was so happy to do it is because when I opened the minutes last night, I realized I had overlooked something that we made a slight mistake on. It is in paragraph 9 where we give the balance, it says in the capital account, and I can send these to you if you don't have them in front of you. It should say operating account. And then we go on to talk about the amounts that will be taken from the operating account, and suddenly in the middle we mention the capital account. So I've moved the capital account sentence to the end and have all the operating account stuff together. It's just confusing because we use the wrong.
The operating accounts are line account, right?
Yes, it's meant to be the line account or the operating account.
Just so we're on the same lingo.
So with those changes, do you understand? Just correcting the account name and just moving any reference to the capital account to the end of the sentence, so it's not stuck in the middle where we're talking about the operating account. And I really apologize because I read these and it looked perfect to me when I read them. So subject to those changes, can I have a motion to approve the minutes? Thank you, Elizabeth.
Second.
Thank you, Tracy. You're right, all in favour?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm in between my documents here. All right, so Tracy, would you like to give a recap on our wonderful hanging baskets?
Well, thanks to the success of all of you helping, the baskets are done and are put up. And we did the planters at Tilly, and I don't know if you've been down to Pear Tree, but we did hang 2 baskets at Pear Tree. We also have a big planter at Pear Tree that's filled with all the petunias as well, over by the concession stand. And so I've had nice compliments. We made the arrangement with Park and Rec because I was approached in the beginning of February for hanging baskets down there, and I said, well, I've ordered mine in December, so if I have any left, I will do that. So we did have a couple left, so we did do the 2 at Wheat Beach, and we did 2 hanging, and then the planter at Pear Tree. So it looks really pretty. We also did the baskets. The baskets are all done at Tilly, and it looks really pretty. None got stolen this year.
Yay!
Usually lose one at the food fair, but thank God none.
Good.
And we did the planters. Juliet and I did the planters with ilex like we do here at Town Hall, and put the petunias around. And I'll let you talk about those changes, but it looks really pretty. There are 2 more lamp posts on the Sedgwick side that still need baskets. So I'm going to order brackets this week, and I will next year we'll up it by 2 more baskets then, and make sure we have all of the lamp posts. When they put them up for me at the end of the year, they put them up on the wrong lamp posts, which still were in the sun, but you know. So anyway, so that'll look a little bit, complete. Hanging baskets around town all look nice. A couple. Sometimes you'll see one that's a little off kilter and whatnot, but Elder he's trying to go around and straighten things out as he goes. But I've had nice compliments about the baskets and stuff hanging at the front door here, and the ilex looks so pretty, really.
Yes.
So well, that's it.
And I did the post office.
Thank you.
Elder will water that, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because I haven't looked at it since I put it in.
Oh, the deal I made with Park and Rec, I said, if you want hanging baskets, I can't have my guy water them though.
Right.
I said, so they've made arrangements with their security guy and the lifeguards. They're all supposed to be maintaining the baskets at the beaches for us. We do Tilly, but they're doing the beaches.
Cool.
So they're there almost every day anyway, so.
Yeah.
All right.
So Tracy mentioned Tilly Pond, and by the gazebo, the Garden Club of Darian has created 2 new native beds, and in the process they decided to replant the planters that we had done, and they put in a very, very, very big ilex in each planter, and they left the petunias around the edges. And it's fine. I've just wonder if those huge ilex will grow and burst the pods. Katie? Oh, Katie's muted. It's Linda.
That's probably Linda.
Yeah, it's Linda. Okay. But they look good, they're very big, and they asked me if it was okay. I said yes, as long as you don't throw away the ilex that we pay for. So they've incorporated them into the gardens, but we'll see how it goes. They also, I think you know this, they wanted to use elder
to
watering.
I gave Emily DeAndrea Elder's contact information.
Good.
So.
And does Elder have time? I thought he was
You know what?
still
I'm leaving that kind of between them.
Yes,
I don't want
that's
us to mix the payment plan with
No, absolutely.
You know, so.
Right. Okay, no, that's fine, because I just thought that Elder was sort of stretched, but
Well,
he's down there anyway.
Yes. He's there anyway,
Yes,
so I
so
don't
that's
imagine
fine.
it's a problem, but I'm not sure if Emily's reached him yet.
Okay, all right. Well, that sounds good.
Sorry,
Yes.
is Elder a town employee or
No.
just a private
He's a
person?
private,
Okay.
yeah. He's, if you see my reports here, you'll see K&K Garden Design. He and his wife have a little landscaping business, and so he's been doing a bunch of weeding projects for us and so
For a
forth.
number of years too.
For
So
quite a few
he's
years.
approved by the
Yeah,
town.
for a long time.
Yeah, so we use generally either Elder or Wilmer or your guys sometimes.
Yes, my guy has done Joseph Landscaping. He's done some work here before, and he has provided the 1099 insurance. Linda, could you mute your phone? Linda? Could you check email? Do you know?
Beautification start. That's it.
Linda? Okay. All right, next item is update on work at the Berm and Habitat Hill. At the Berm, we are unbelievably overrun with invasives. It looks like we planted them, and but some roses have come up in between. Yeah, thanks. It's worse than last year. I mean, it's just covered. So the Darian Pollinator Parkway has some interns, and we have been working with them to try and pull them. We started a couple of weeks ago, and they cleared a good patch. And this morning we went back to work at 8 o'clock.
And they were all back.
It's growing again. And it doesn't matter if you pull out as much root as you can, whatever little root is left starts to grow again.
Yeah.
So what we've been trying to do is we had a number of excess plants that we divided up from the Berm, and from Habitat Hill here, and we've moved them over there. But my fear is that the bindweed is just going to strangle them. So we really seriously, I think this month could do with if Elder has time or Wilma has time to do some more work over there. I mean, the kids can only do so much, and they leave on Monday. And quite honestly, what I've told them is not to look up and over everything else that needs to be done, just concentrate on your patch, because it's so demoralizing.
And to that left patch, there's that bamboo.
Yes,
In
yes.
case we don't have enough invasives.
Yes.
We have bamboo.
No, and that's really tough to get out.
It's very tough, and I
So
think
we've
we
got a
should.
backhoe coming.
Yes, we'll have to do that. And if we get our capital budget, we will figure out areas that we can deal with, and maybe we backhoe some areas, tarp other areas, and where we can, we'll just keep hand pulling and planting in an effort to suppress them. But it's a huge problem up there. And so, are you going to ask Elder?
I asked
You did
Elder,
already,
he
yeah.
was gonna let me know when, I think he's gonna do something next week at the Berm.
Okay, oh,
But,
fantastic,
yeah.
all right, okay.
So, I'll reach out to him again though.
All right. Well, we left several bags in huge piles there this morning, and I asked Anthony if he could move them, so but I couldn't fit them in my truck. So on Habitat Hill, I just want to mention that's quite interesting. I mean, we do have some weeds out there, but by and large, I can walk by and pull them, dig them, and the kids have been here.
I pull them on my way back.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it's fairly weed-free. I mean, compared to the Berm, it's quite good.
Oh, don't even compare that to the Berm.
No, it's quite good. It just sometimes they're very difficult to access, especially on the Mavis Centre's side. We have to walk up the staircase, by the staircase across the top, and gently go down.
Yeah.
You can't run up at it. and they're sort of hard to access. But the other thing that we did, we took the high bush blueberries that we bought, and the interns had planted all of those. We put 5 of those there where the burning bush was.
Okay.
And I think they're going to get enough sun to look really good, and I think because their leaves turn red in the winter, it will be a good
So it'll be
substitute.
like the red bush.
Yes,
I mean the
except
burning bush, yeah.
not as problematic. And we're also still trying to get some weeds out there too.
And the
Not
bird
weeds,
houses
weeds.
look awesome.
Oh yeah, so Public Works put
yeah,
up
they
bird
look so
houses. Yeah, it might be a bit too late for anyone to nest in there right now.
No, that's
but-
okay, they'll age and then next
Yes.
year they'll be.
Better.
And they're a little low, but I think they're protected enough by the shrubbery there that the birds will feel comfortable. And there's certainly a lot of activity in the shrubs there anyway. So no, I'm really pleased with that. I think it looks good. Okay, so then, as if we don't have enough to do, we were. I can't remember if we talked about this at the last meeting, but we were approached by Jim Cameron from Channel 79 to see if we would be interested in restoring 2 flower beds at Newark Heights. And they're the 2 flower beds that are basically between the 2 parking lots on the southbound side, yes. And they were very overrun with mugwort, swallowwort,
Garbage.
Garbage, yes,
Yeah.
yes, there's probably still garbage there. And so we bought a few plants, and then Jim very kindly said that his organisation would make a donation. So he also works for I think he founded the Commuter Action Rail Group. I might have that in the wrong order, but anyway, it's the organisation that sort of channels complaints about the MTA and Metro North, and in a constructive way. And so we received $500 as a contribution towards the plantings there, which is really, really helpful. Yeah, really, really generous. So the one thing that I do want to do, and I've half started this series, see if we could get a sign. Remember I asked you about the cost of the signs there?
Yeah.
It's not exactly adopt a garden because this is a one-off donation, but I thought we could maybe fashion a sign that is the style of the ones that you have. Maybe it says Commuter Action Rail Group at the top because they gave the donation, and then we call it, we've got Newark Station Gardens or something like that, and then Beautification underneath. So the 3 lots of text that you have already on the Adopt a Garden signs. Would something like that work if I just draw it for you?
Why don't you write out what you
Yes, all right.
want? It shouldn't be that hard to
No,
order it.
I think it would be a nice gesture for him, his generosity. And then we learned,
But then you're labeling it if nobody, who's maintaining this?
well, that's really it. Well, we have the $500 that was, I think Jim would like us to use that money for plants so that he can say, he sees something tangible rather than maintenance. His group wouldn't have the ability to maintain, so we will probably end up including that. We already had elder weeded originally, but
And mulch it.
and mulch it,
And
but
prune everything back. If you haven't been by, I mean, it's oodles better.
yes, it's oodles better. Except again, they have those gardens have a grass, a very coarse grass that comes
Monkey
up.
grass.
Is it monkey grass?
I think it's
Oh
monkey
my
grass.
goodness! Within 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I haven't named it monkey grass, that's fine.
Yeah, monkey grass,
Yeah.
monkey grass.
Monkey grass and monkey grass.
Yeah. Anyway, it is looking a lot better, and again, I think most of the weeds there, well, there is mugwort that we'll just have to hand pull, but most of the others are light enough that we can, with planting, I think we'll overcome what's there. But
Is this
we
near,
don't.
I'm sorry, is this near Hollow Tree Ridge on?
No, it's at the Newark train station.
Yeah.
Between the voucher parking lot that goes by the depot, and then the drop-off swing through on the southbound
Okay,
side. And it just as you go, there's a stop sign,
yes.
and the 2 gardens are there. One's on Heights Road side, and one's on the train track side.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, and then I saw Jim Cameron because he takes a class of mine, and he said, I don't know if he mentioned this to you, but I thought it was kind of a cute idea, but it would take some work. But he said that in England, did he tell you this? That in England, they have like towns that are really close to each other. they have a little competition
Oh, yes, yes.
with who has the nicest gardens at the railroad station, which I thought was kind of cute.
No, I think that's wonderful. It's
You
just that we
know.
would lose hands down right now if anybody came to Darian because of the burn and the
Yeah.
invasive. So
Yeah,
the
that's
last
true.
thing we need to do is put ourselves in a competition
Okay.
and lose it.
But I was thinking if it was just Roten Heights.
Oh, yes, we could.
He has a
engineer
jack
it.
garden.
Yes, okay.
Jim hasn't gone by the berm.
No, and I think we need at least another year's
Yeah,
growth.
yeah,
This
yeah,
is
yeah.
babies. Yes, okay.
Yes.
Oh, I love Jim. He's full of ideas for us.
Just show up with a shovel.
Yes. Oh my goodness. But anyway, Jen, our town treasurer, said that we ought to have a formal procedure for accepting donations, and I think Kate Bush has fashioned a form for that, and they've created a separate account for donations that aren't into Adopt a Garden or the other designated gardens.
Actually, when we get to my sheet, you'll see it was opened on the end of May.
Yeah, okay, that's great.
So, and it shows the $500. Jen went ahead and opened it with the $500, but we do have to approve it.
All right, okay, so we
Okay.
have to approve the
And we have
donation.
We have to figure out how you want to.
All right, no, this looks fine to me. So this form is,
That's the form Jen wants us to use.
okay, and this is interesting because it looks just like the budget form. So,
It's a town thing.
yeah, it's a town thing. So we have to give our departmental division, so that's beautification, gift description, gift value, $500, estimated useful life, that's of the project, so ours will be continuous, I would think. Donor name, justification and rationale. What problem or opportunity is being addressed by acceptance of this gift? So we can explain that. This was his idea to clean up the Meridian Station. He thought that beautification could do it, and he wanted to contribute. Does this gift assist the town with fulfilling Board of Selectmen objectives or issues identified in a master plan? If so, please explain.
I mean, this is a generic gift form for
Yes.
all the departments.
We could,
It's a little heavy duty for.
Yeah.
yes,
A garden gift.
a $500 garden gift, but if we are looking at, environmental concerns, we're planting natives, so we are doing environmental good work, and I do think that that figures in the Board of Selectmen's objectives. So I'm sure, well, we'll look at that, but we'll answer that as carefully as we can. Does this gift assist the town with compliance with statutes or regulations?
No.
Are there any conditions of accepting the gift imposed by the donor? You're right, yeah, just for use at the train station. I think he would really like some recognition, but it's not a condition of the gift. What are the benefits of accepting the gift? Well, it's wonderful because the garden gets to be cleaned up, and we get to include more native plants in a new area. How will the benefits be measured? What impact will this gift have on the operating budget? $500. I think that is $500 is a
Significant.
yes, it's a significant impact for us.
Yeah.
Will this gift require future replacement by the town? No. So so it has to be approved by Board of Selectmen, Board of Finance.
I don't know if.
Oh, maybe that doesn't.
I don't know if all of this needs to get approved by
us,
them.
yeah.
Again, it's a generic form,
Right.
but we need to approve it.
Yes.
We need to
Yes.
approve
But
the acceptance of it.
yes, I just wanted them to see
Yeah.
what it would be that we.
If anyone wants to
filling
see the
in.
form, I did make some copies.
Did you make some copies? Okay.
Yes.
Send around. I was reading it because I thought, oh, what time?
Is it on the website?
You could email it.
Probably is.
If Jen email
Because
it.
it's, yeah.
Is there a financial amount that the town has to approve? For instance, if it's under $1,000, or, is it a dollar or more needs approval?
So in other words, if it's under 1,000, we'll get someone to give us a $5
It sounds like
gift and
we have-
499.
Yeah, we have to approve the.
I just was curious if they want to approve every
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of forms, but I made a couple.
Do you
But they-
have one? Yeah. All right, so do you, well, you're looking at it now. Do you feel you have enough information to approve it and to, well, we can fill it in. Tracy and I take responsibility for filling it in and we'll circulate it. So we can approve it.
I think we can, of course, go ahead and fill it, and approve it today.
Yeah, I think we can
Okay.
approve it
The
now.
money's in the account, it's been set up.
Yeah.
So motion to approve?
Well, can I just ask one question?
Yeah.
Sorry, next year, would the gift continue?
No,
or
it's just a one-off.
So would DVC take over that budgetary item going forward?
No, so there'll be $500 in the gift account, which we will likely spend, because there's some dubious plants there that we could replace. So we'll spend the $500, and then that account will remain open for any other donations
future
from
gifts.
other people. But we are basically responsible for those gardens.
Now, there is a difference. If it's a general gift and it's earmarked for a specific thing, that didn't make sense, but it goes in this gift account. We have that other American Recycling, we get that money, and that's specifically for the adopt-a gardens. So we don't need to go through this process, that's just a gift that goes directly into adopt-a garden.
It's actually a sensible idea when you think about it, because otherwise the $500 just gets mixed with our money and it would be very hard to trace how we've spent it and
Right.
account to the donor of how we spent that money. Because it's just fungible with the rest of our funds. Sorry, Alicia, did you?
I was just gonna ask, typically, are any donations we receive people that approach us, or do we ever actively fundraise, so to speak, for donations?
We don't actively fundraise. Usually we don't get that many donations, but just through discussions. And Jim, I was saying to Jim, I don't know, it seems like it's going to be quite expensive. And he said, I'd be happy to make a donation. So that was, that was.
We had John Tibbetts one year.
Oh, yes.
Sent us a check for like $100.
Yes, because he loved his
$50.
hanging baskets.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So, I mean, we're open to it,
Yeah.
and if we do find at some point we need more funds for some of our big projects that we want to keep doing, then, maybe we could approach.
Well, but we have our budget process every year. We apply for our operating budget and a capital budget. So this year we asked for more funds so that we can do more work around town, and we asked for a 5,000 capital budget to deal with the invasives at the Berm. And I think those have been
It's not posted till July.
right. It's not posted. It won't be seen here, but I think it's virtually approved. So, in a way, as long as we anticipate what our work's going to be and we price it accordingly, we should be in funds. But for something like this, where somebody comes out of the blue and suggests something that wasn't really in our budget, then maybe we have room, maybe we don't, and funding can be helpful. And I think it's a nice partnership anyway.
Yeah, me too.
And it looks nice. I mean, it looks nice. You look at the heights. The heights looks like it's just so crappy looking right now with all the construction. It's like a bomb zone up there, and it's just so pretty. You pull into the station, at least there's something pretty to look at.
Yeah, true.
So
We thought about putting in a little path because we noticed that it's so funny. It must be all of 3 feet that's saved by the commuter in a hurry. So instead of just walking around the garden like that, it will cut through. So we thought, should we do a path? And then we were worried about liability. What if the pavers tripped? And then that would really cost us more than $500 to fix the problem. So we decided to not plant there, so they didn't trample them down, and they could just.
did they put the bike rack there too?
Oh, somebody moved the bike rack. I think it's the MTA. But
Yeah.
moved the bike rack.
Moved the bike rack there, so it kind
It did all
of
work for
prevents
us.
people from cutting through it. So
All right. So, So we said we're going to approve
Yeah.
this and the filling in. Everybody's comfortable with us filling this in.
mhm.
I mean, we can't go really wrong with it, can we?
No.
It's sort of-
I leave it in your very capable hands.
Oh, thank you.
My pleasure.
And yours.
I started it.
All right. So, motion to approve the gift acceptance request.
Motion.
All right, Amanda and Jackie. Thank you. Everyone approved. Katie, are you still there? Oh, no, she's not. All right. Okay, well, we do have a quorum, so. Everybody in favour? No objections. All right, update on, we just talked about this, gardens at their own height and the gifts, okay. So scheduling next cleanup. Elizabeth had an idea that instead of saying, let's all meet at such and such time and such a day, if maybe we each kind of adopt a garden of our own and just do it now and again. We could circulate a list of gardens. It can't be the adopt a garden ones, obviously, because that requires special.
Except for,
Yes.
except for like the paw prints could
Yeah.
take some care.
We had Elder do that last year too.
Yeah,
we did,
Yeah.
So that doesn't need liability insurance. Where is it?
Yeah,
Well,
see, I
it
worry
does.
about that
So
one.
that's what I worry about. I don't think we should be out there on our
Me
own.
too. I've done that a couple
What
of
other
times.
gardens are not kind of exposed?
Well, all of the Berm.
Well, the berm is. I think the berm is its own problem. But Amy Smile, Verena
Amy
Stewart
Smile.
is also on that.
That Verena Stewart is Mateo.
Is he here? Oh,
Yeah.
Mateo's on that one. Okay, all right. So that's taken care of.
Yeah.
So really, that only leaves Amy Smile, isn't it?
Yeah, Amy Smile on the Berm and here.
And here, yeah. And I sort of keep an eye on this one. because
Did they come through and clean, by exit 10? What's her name?
The design?
Yeah.
I haven't, observed, she hasn't been in touch with me for 2 years. I don't know whether she's still doing it or not.
Yeah.
It looked a little cleaned up to me the last time I
Oh, good.
glanced there, but I don't think it's that regularly.
Do we follow up with the Adopt a Garden adoptees, like annually, like, reminder?
Good question.
Sue does all that.
We
Sue
did, but with COVID, the transfer, the DOT person, the Department of Transportation person who I was connected with, just said, you're renewed through 2023 and, just let it go. So I really have not been in touch with everyone since then, since we didn't have to renew our permit. But they just do their own thing, and most of them are pretty conscientious about it. I know Foster's at the end of Nearwater does a
That
great
looks good,
job,
yeah.
and Growing Concern and Corbin and Old Kings Highway South do a great job. I think Richard Jones does, and the Ungaback McCool one at 5 Mile River, it looks terrific this year.
Oh, yeah.
And Mateo's even was good, so.
Who's doing the Board of
If I
Appeals
have, I don't know.
Is Paw Prints on the 11 entrance?
Yes.
If you're getting on there?
Yes.
Do they just personally
No,
maintain
they have
it, or-
not for a long
No.
time.
There's been discussion in the past
They-
about taking their sign down.
Yeah, their sign really should be down because they have not.
Just kind of planted it and then that was
They
that?
did, they, maybe even, as long as 10 years ago, they would make contributions to have it done and then they stopped, and we had Elder or, we had Wilmer do it, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah,
Have you
this year
spoken to
Elder
them?
did it.
Hmm?
Have you spoken to them?
I went in there and spoke to her once, but the gal who I dealt with, I don't think is even there anymore. I don't know, I haven't seen her.
We could just go in and ask to say, you guys still want to participate in caring for them.
Indeed.
Or almost do like a little report card for ourselves of, going by all of these and see if they look like they've been maintained or not, and then following up with whoever
Yeah,
it is.
it's just a lot of work for one person.
Yeah.
I'm happy to.
Would you like to do
yeah.
that? Oh, that would be marvelous.
Can I just get a list of?
Absolutely.
I know you had a map. Is that email? Or is it just
The map is
hard
from
copy?
I can actually give you a copy.
Okay.
That would be really helpful.
But
Yeah.
it's an old map and we don't even, a lot of it isn't current.
But
Because I could update it too
yeah, I was
as
gonna say if
I'm
you go
going
around, you
along.
can. Yeah.
I can do that with you.
Okay.
Fantastic.
It's easy,
All right.
go in.
I'll scan it and.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that.
I'm
I don't mind
curious.
going into
It's
places
like a
and
little
Places that probably
investigation.
go.
Yeah.
Go in.
All right, that would be fantastic.
You wouldn't mind that at all, would you?
No, and indeed, I probably should say that I'm probably sliding off this commission because I was approached to join the Commission on Aging, which just seemed to be a better, I've been struggling along with this for a while, so if we can
Yeah, I'm happy to.
take it over. Need some new energy, I would say.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
I really appreciate
I
that.
feel like I'm on the road all day taking my kids everywhere.
Oh,
like
yes, so
sitting
you
at
see
stop
that.
signs
Yeah.
and looking at them.
Ah, well, that would be wonderful, and that's
Yeah, that'd be
a good
great.
result because I've
Yeah.
been begging Sue not to go. Who's going to do it up the garden?
Does that mean you don't want to do the baskets?
I think I'll choose this.
Everything is additional
Yeah.
to the baskets.
This is a possibility that I have taken a position at Town Hall in the registrar's office, and there's a possibility that I may have to step down on the commission. But we're kind of fighting it since it's appointed and it's not an elected position,
Elected.
and it's like, it's not really a big conflict. I pull weeds.
Yeah.
Right.
I help with voting, and I pull weeds. So,
Right.
so remains to be seen, but we have council looking at it.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh, this is great. We had 2 months with 9 people.
Yes.
I'll stick around. I just won't be able to vote.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's not the same, is it? You can still weed. You can weed whatever. All right. So back to the original question, which was scheduling next cleanup. Well, maybe then, maybe we do this instead of forcing people to come on a particular day and trying to juggle everyone's schedule. The biggest problem we have right now is the Berm. So if anybody ever feels like going down and spending half an hour and filling up even one bag,
Right.
you don't even have to go up the hill to do it. Because it's all-
I want to take my weed whacker over there at the bottom.
That's a really good idea. I had the kids dig up the dogweed and some mugwort that was at the bottom, but there's I think Public Works could go further back, but I think maybe they're lower. They're a little worried about there's that big grass.
Well, that's why I think if I come by with the weed whacker and we trim that area down, then we can ask them to extend their mower.
Yes.
Once they see that it's not rock and.
Right, and I think we need to ask them to just saw down that dead tree, or maybe I'll just do it. We planted an eastern redbud there.
Oh, good.
The interns planted eastern redbud yesterday
Right.
next to the dead tree. Yeah, so it should look good. They also planted some more plethora, cutleaf coneflower, monarda, blue lobelia, and I think some red twig dogwood. The amazing thing is, the red twig dogwood that we put in last year.
The one that we uncovered?
Well, we uncovered one. I found 2 more.
Yeah. They were
They're
quite a few.
so covered in bindweed. And I think the kids this morning unearthed 2 more, and they're huge. They're really happy there.
Good,
They're at the bottom of the slope, so I guess they get enough moisture.
Right.
And I mean, we were reasonably diligent about watering them last year, but I'm astounded at how well they've done.
Once we get all that vine stuff off
Yes.
too, it'll let the water really get to it.
Yes.
So.
So I think, does everybody think that's a reasonable idea, rather than try and schedule something?
Yeah.
Colleen has her own schedule, we all have our own schedules, and you could work together, Tracy and I sometimes buddy up, we sometimes buddy up,
Yeah.
don't we?
Well, I was thinking, like, if everybody just once a week, like Juliet was saying, half an hour, 45 minutes, if you just take one little section, just once a week, it really, really helps
Makes
to.
a difference.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference.
And
Like,
you kind of
It's the
stay ahead of it.
continuity,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
continuity that's good.
How do we
because-
want to divide them then? Like, should we choose them kind of in the areas where we live, close by? Like, that's what I
Sure.
think, 'cause
Or do you have a particular interest in
One
one
that you
garden
really
over
like.
another?
yes.
I'm just thinking of the
wherever
bird
you wanna
because
go.
it's so bad.
I mean, I'm going over to the butterfly garden after this, so I always take care of that section. But yeah, like if you're right near Amy's Smile, or that would be
Oh,
whatever.
Amy Smiles, yes, that's a good one.
That would
Did
be
we ever get
nice.
mulch here yet? No.
No, I must ask him, I keep forgetting to ask for mulch there.
But
Should we just
Maybe we should just
a
buy it.
garden
Let's
nice
just
to
buy
light, I think is
have
key.
a look?
No, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll just have
Well, I
multiple
don't have a
delivery.
favorite yet.
Yeah. That's fine.
What are
Yes.
the
Let's
choices
do that.
besides the Berm, Amy's Smile, Butterfly, Habitat Hill? Are there
Yeah.
more, or is there a list?
Well, there are-
Well, there are ones that are islands, but I guess you want to steer clear
I'm
of
just a
those.
little worried about
Yeah, me
having
too.
us ladies wandering across the ramp to drive.
Yeah, I've done that a couple
Realtors.
times, Bofferts.
I mean, I have
Scary.
Board of Health has
high-vis
always
jackets,
maintained that one,
but
though.
Yeah.
have you seen people driving
They
you
used to
on
always
their
maintain
phones?
that garden, now all of a sudden,
I'm not
the
sure
stoplights seem to be just
I'm not aware
suggestions
that
now.
they did.
Yeah.
because that's the one,
By Tilly Pond.
yeah, by like across from like
From
Post
the
Pizza
Man-
back
at the
lot.
Mansfield entrance.
Right.
Quite frankly, I've never really scoped it
Call
out.
Irene, get out there and weed.
I've weeded that one before.
What is it?
It's not bad.
The Realtor's Garden,
It's
the
small.
Board of Realtor Garden, they're on the, you know, as you buy Post Pizza, if you're going up Mansfield and you make that left to go into the parking lot behind those shops, it's right there on that corner.
Oh, it
Oh.
is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do a driving tour one day.
I was
Just
gonna
go
say,
through
I
all the,
think-
get in, who's the biggest
Yeah.
car, we all get in it and just get in the car and see it, because it's much easier visually.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just go quickly, boom. I think that would be a good,
It's
I
amazing.
was
how you
wondering too,
cross
if
that
this
every day.
summer, like for me at least, it would be difficult for me to regularly we just have a couple, vacations and
Oh, cool.
such
Right, yeah.
planned. Like the fall for me would be a good time to start
And that's
that.
that's a good time anyway, because things are beginning to die down.
Well, we were even saying like at the berm in the fall, as much as we don't necessarily want to cut the grasses down because they're a good habitat for the birds and things,
Mm-hmm.
if they get cut down in the fall, it's way easier in the spring for that garden. Because I cut a lot of those grasses down and I had a pile bigger than a Volkswagen in the, for Public Works to pick up.
Yeah.
It was just so much. And it also, they start to fall over onto the staircase and stuff and, and that's not good.
Do you typically leave what you pull for Public Works, or do we need to be able to take it away?
Well, I try not to abuse their
Mhm.
willingness because they're so good to us and they really do clean up after us. So I try to take what I can. If I only do a little bit, then I'll take a bag with me, or I'll take several bags because I have a truck. But this morning, our pile was so big, we just didn't have enough bags to bag up, and they are quite, they're fine if you don't put it in bags. So I asked them this morning if they could clean up after us, because there were 7 of us there this morning, we make a lot of mess. Yes.
Yeah.
So that is justified. I think if you're on your own, the way not to put yourself off is just to set yourself a target and just take one bag and then take it home, and then I think
Yeah.
I think we
that's
can
what I
manage
do.
that, because I think otherwise you just keep going, you just keep working, and whereas if you set yourself a target, I'll just fill this bag.
Right.
Yeah.
If we know we're going to do a big cleanup,
Then we tell
Yes,
them in advance.
we tell them in advance.
we tell
yeah.
them in advance, and
Because
sometimes they'll
back.
bring over the pink dumpster,
Oh, yes.
and we can fill it with all the
Oh, I
stuff,
love
and then
that
they
dumpster.
pick up the pink dumpster.
Yes.
So,
Well, yes, because I warned them the other day that we were going to be working there, and I just asked them to take the stuff after we were finished, and oh my goodness, it was Mike. John came over and said, "Oh, you need the dumpster." 10 minutes later, we had the pink dumpster.
pink dumpster arrived.
So it was very helpful. So what are we concluding then? That we just each do what we can when we can, and
Do you want to push maybe to get a group of us to do a project at the berm?
yeah, maybe if
Because we
if
haven't
somebody-
done a weeding project in 2 months.
We haven't done one.
Well, some of us have, but I mean as a
Right.
group.
I'm going to be away basically from Friday till almost the end of June. So I've got a conference next week, and then I'm going to.
That's not allowed. You're not gonna do
Oh no!
the garden
Then I'm going to.
tour. What about the garden tour?
I come back for that. I've got a window to get to London, and then I come back for the garden tour. I have to go between a conference and the garden tour.
When is the garden tour?
Okay. Oh, I should have mentioned that just now. So our Habitat Hill here is on the Pollinator Parkway garden tour, and so it's the 25th of June.
Yeah.
And I was about to Instagram it this morning, but ran out of time. I think I want to say it's 12 to 3 or 10 till 3 maybe. And I think I sent you an email about it where I probably had the
You
time in
did,
it as
yeah.
well. But I thought what would be nice if, and obviously you don't have to stay for the whole time, but if, I really hope we get some visitors to Instagram and try to publicise this. And I've asked our there's a new town person, Marley Hayes, who's in charge of town social media. So I've asked her to let people know about it as well. And Tracy has bought us a tent, this little pop-up tent that I thought we
It's a 13 by 13, and it's
Yeah.
green.
That's green, like us.
Nice.
And so we have some shelter, we can have some refreshments and just greet people if they come. And if not, we could pull weeds or something.
Well, yeah, that's our cleanest garden.
Yes, I know.
So we can talk.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, just come for whatever time you can spare if you can. It's a Saturday, so it might not be perfect for everybody, but
Do you know how many gardens are on the tour?
Well, it's a multi-town tour, and several towns are participating. In Darian, we have this garden, and then Susan Daly, who some of you know, she's on the Parks and Rec Commission. She's including her garden on the tour. So I'm going to try and mention that in the Instagram post too. So she had, she's basically converted most of her front lawn to Pollinator garden, vegetable garden, and it's
Nice.
really, really pretty.
Oh, I'd love to see that.
She is on Queen's Lane, just off Old Kings Highway South. So it's not actually that far from
Yeah.
Habitat Hill, so from here.
Queen's Lane. Doesn't Nina live there, I think?
Nina does,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
Nina lives just around the corner. Yep. And Laurie in front.
House.
All right, so we come to the resolution. Should we each do our own thing? Maybe what we could do, if you're in the mood to weed, you just send a note around to everybody and say,
Okay.
I'm going down, if anybody wants to join me.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, and then, be prepared to be on your own, or
Right.
give as much notice as you want, but sometimes people.
I show up with my truck usually when I do
You
these.
do, yes.
And and it hasn't gotten me divorced quite yet, but my husband is like a maniac with his truck, and so, but I put the tarp in it and throw
Off
all
you
this
go.
stuff in there and let her go. So, my next toy will be a dump truck.
All right. So let's for now not schedule anything. We'll just
Okay.
do it casually. We'll let each other know so we can partner if we want to.
Okay.
And on the subject of pulling invasives, there is a talk at the library tomorrow night. It's in person, but I think you can zoom in as well, with Alice Ely on how to deal with invasives, 7 o'clock. So just in case anyone's interested. All right, the next item is, just see. Okay, she's back, good. All right, police department gardens. All right, so the police commissioner asked us if we would help, or he actually asked Parks and Rec who asked us if we would help with the gardens that are, or the flower beds that are either side of the front entrance, and then there's one in front of the entrance, so the path goes like this, two beds, and then one in front of the path. And at first I was thinking, well, maybe the Pollinator Pathway could do it, maybe the interns could do it, but the interns are just worked to the bone right now, so there's no way they're going to get to it. So I know.
Will they water? If we plant, will they water?
Yes, I think they will pretty much maintain. We need to find the lady who apparently is good at doing that. So we're waiting to get her contact information. And I had COVID when I was supposed to meet with them and look at the garden, so Deepika went over, my Pollinator Pathway co-chair. She went over and I drove past and saw there's a lot of work, there's a lot of grass, and I don't think it's something that we could tackle on our own, so I think we would need to pay one of our guys just to prepare everything, and I think we can do the design, but they basically obviously want something that's fairly maintenance free, so I think some native shrubs and some, they get, he said they don't get deer, which is interesting.
Yeah.
So I think it's because there are
They
people
just
there.
shoot 'em.
No.
You know, they have runs there, so the deer stir away.
I think it's because there's activity all day, all night.
That they
so
don't get.
It keeps the deer away.
Right.
Rather than all the other things you could think of as to
You
why
know,
they
like
wouldn't go to the
lights.
police station.
On the front door.
Oh, so that would be another garden that we'd have to take care of?
But remember our budget is going to be higher.
Mhm.
And I think if we do this right, we select the right shrubs and the right plants.
Mhm.
Gotta keep our policemen happy
Yes.
as they enter in and
Let
out.
them know that we
Exactly.
did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is a very good partnership, and
I'd be funding the police.
stick to the topic. We're talking about
Yeah.
the garden. It's really easy to get me distracted. So I think we
All right.
can come up with a design. Talk to.
Because at first I said to Juliet, I said, we kind of need to get our own gardens in check first.
I know.
Yeah.
Because so
There's
much
a lot.
maintenance, we're so strapped thin, but. yeah.
Maybe if we can make a list of which gardens need the most love and care, because I really don't know,
Right.
I think that needs to be clear.
Well, and also
Yes.
visibility level, like,
Yes.
I fortunately have never been to the police station, like, is it more just probably for the employees' enjoyment?
Well, I think they want to have it's a civic building, and they obviously want to have it look decent as opposed to making it look like it's really run down.
It's on the street side too, the
Yes,
entrance.
it's very
It's on the
visible.
way to the
So it is
library,
very-
visible next to the library,
And
Yeah.
I don't
across
think
the cemetery.
you have to look at it this
Right.
way. There are, in the big scheme of things, that is manageable. Those are manageable. I mean, yes, there's a lot of initial work and planning to do, but they're manageable because A, the police are going to help us. B, we have enough budget. And I can't remember what C was going to be, but anyway, I think if we do it right, that they, will be able to look after those. And then we have I don't want to say insurmountable, but then we have the other end of the spectrum, which is the Berm. And
Yeah.
that I don't think we can lump in. So when we say, we've got to get everything else under control before we do other ones, I think we can at least, we can take on at least the police garden and the rodent gardens. We've had some funding from the rodent, we've got some help with the police garden. And I think they will be manageable with our budget. And then the Berm will always be there, lurking in the background.
Mhm.
And something that we have to consider and fund and work on continuously.
Right.
So we'll never get that off our plate. If we say we've got to finish
Right.
the Berm before we do the police garden, and the police will,
It's never gonna happen.
bind it all over the building before we
Right.
get
They'll
to
be
it.
rebuilding that building.
All right. So that's my view anyway. And then yes, then if we have, then we'd have police garden, Norton garden, Amy's Smile. All right. Whatever else we have. Habitat Hill.
Is the garden still going to maintain the garden beds then at Tilly?
Yes, we are. They're not us. Yes. Yeah. They'll make arrangements. And again, that's supposed to be low maintenance.
And they mulched it beautifully, so.
Yes, they did. And there's a lot of grasses. And
It's very pretty.
I don't think there were any invasives there. So I think they started with a good.
The only invasives are the trash.
Oh no, they will. Yes, the invasives will travel too. But I think in terms of a good starting point, they were lucky. All right, so we will, assuming we get our new budget, we will have enough money to cope with the police garden too. And I think it's.
Well, we could do that now.
Well, yes, but remember, some of our money here, we have to tackle the Berm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, we can make a start. We will have enough money with what we have left.
Right,
plus-
I have a bill come in from Elder for
Yeah.
watering and,
Yes.
and the town hall weeding that he did. Oh, we could talk about the beds up here too.
Oh, yes, all right. Okay. So
Ladies,
please.
I have to excuse myself, I have a meeting I gotta get to.
No,
the
that's
city.
absolutely
So
fine.
I'm gonna
Okay.
actually sneak out now, because the person's waiting for me
I
outside.
know, I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
yeah.
This is taking so long, but there's
That's
so much
okay.
going on.
Yeah.
And
But I will help with anything you
Okay.
need.
Yeah.
yes, all right. Thank
Okay,
you,
thank
Amanda.
you.
Thank you so much for
Yeah,
volunteering to
my
do that. It's
pleasure.
fantastic. Okay, so I didn't put this on the agenda, but the cement planters, the ones that sort of circle
Up here by the
Yeah,
circle.
circle. You can kind of see them from here. They have the vinca in them that's sort of got very thin now.
Mhm.
And we've been asked, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to plant there? So we've been thinking about how we could make it look better, but not create
A lot of
more
maintenance.
work for us. So shrubs are the obvious idea, and we think we had my landscaper, because Elder and Wilma are so busy at the moment. We had my landscaper come over and talk to him about using native rhododendrons. Remember, we've got the irrigation there. Not the swamp azalea, because that probably needs too much water. But then some more ornamental hydrangeas, the colourful ones, the one, I think they're called Endless Summer. So we would have spring and summer colour there, and we would have
And greenery.
yeah, large enough shrubs that could be seen and will be, a good visual. And we're going to get a quote from my guy for costing different size, 5-gallon or 3-gallon rhododendrons and hydrangeas. If anybody has any other ideas for shrubs there.
We just need some color, and and it has to look pretty. It's the Veterans Circle, it's the entrance to our municipal building.
Yes.
And the vinca, that's in there, it's pretty, but it didn't really get a chance to take off well because there were so many weeds in there. And it's like a catch-22 to keep up with the weeds so that the vinca can flourish. But if we take the weeds down by putting in some bushes, some nice plantings and things, and then mulch it, then hopefully with the vinca filling in, it'll be
a
really
nice
pretty.
base for it, yeah.
So, and we can knock the weeds down.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
And you've probably also seen underneath the birches, it's full of swallowwort. So that's that tall, dark green leaved, sort of willowy looking branch. And
It's a vine.
it's a kind of a vine, isn't it? And it has a very, I don't want to say discreet, but it has a root ball that you can dig out, and it comes up in a big clump like that. And so, again, I've had my landscaper look at that and told him that we've got to get that out because it just looks horrible. And he's going to also tackle the stumps, that we have enough money in our budget to have that cleaned up. And then the bed right in front of Town Hall is covered in bindweed. He's going to tackle that as well. So I think things will start to look a lot better pretty soon. I think he can start on Saturday.
Great.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
And again, I think with our new budget too, obviously we can lead there as and when, but I think if we can have professionals help us, it's going to be better for us.
Great.
I keep looking at you and you're leaving us. So.
Yeah, when do you think you're leaving, Sue?
I'm soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna miss you.
And Katie?
Yeah, can you hear me all right?
Katie, I just wanted to ask you, did you talk to anyone, Kate or anyone at Town Hall about your move? Do you have to leave the commission?
No, I haven't been able to connect with anyone yet. You had mentioned asking Linda?
Oh, Linda, yes.
Or Karen Dunn.
Linda or Karen Dunn, yes. Linda's the one who sets up this call. So, because we were I don't know if you were on when we were learning that Sue is probably going to join the Commission on Aging and leave us, and maybe remember that you have an issue as well. Tracy may have an issue, so this is terrible. Anyway, so let us know what your situation is. That would be great.
I just got back on the commission. Yeah. There was a little blurb, and I kind of came off the commission on paper, and I'm like, I've been doing all this reading out of the goodness of my heart. And so this one over here says, call Linda, get back.
Katie, while you're there, have you managed to progress anything with putting flyers or something in the newsletter about composting for the schools?
Yeah, I had sent all the information to the schools. It should have been included in one of the last newsletters.
Oh, that's fantastic. If you can get a copy of that and send it around to us.
Made it.
Oh, you don't think you made
I'll
it?
see if I can get a copy. I haven't heard anything,
Did it
so
go
I
to all
just assumed it
schools,
had
or?
been published.
Oh, can you say that again? Because Alicia doesn't think that
I get 2 schools newsletters, it wasn't in those 2.
Which schools do you?
Oxridge and Hindley.
Oxford and Hindley. And Katie, what schools do you think it might have been in?
It should have been published by Holmes, Oxford, Henley, and Tokenie.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be in the next
So
one.
I'll follow up there.
Okay.
They were weekly, so.
Oh, all right. Oh, okay. So there could be another one. Okay.
Yeah, it should have, I think, been published before the hanging baskets.
All right.
But I'll just double check.
Okay. All right. That's great. Well, good work. And if maybe you, Alicia or somebody could send us a copy, and because we'd like to see that. I think it's very good work. And actually, that's a good segue into the next topic, which is the Beautification Commission website. When you go to the town website, there's information about the beautification. Really, it just talks about its mission, and then it gives our names. And I was talking with Carolyn Bain, who came to talk to us about the composting program, and she said, it would be really helpful for the town's sustainable CT recertification if the Beautification Commission could add to the website information about its work. So I drafted something. Sue helped me with Adopt a Garden, Tracy helped me with hanging baskets, and I put in lots of photographs of the work we've done around town. And I've talked about our partnerships with the with Commuter Rail Group, with the Pollinator Parkway, and I think Carolyn was quite happy with it. Linda's going to post it. I don't know if she has yet. I should go online and take a look. But what we could do then is also put up a copy of the newsletter in which your work gets published, Katie. And I think that would be very interesting for people to see that we participated in that. All right, budget.
All right, so we'll just look at the spreadsheet. All values are as of our monthly meeting. You'll see on the far right side on the bottom is the new gift account that was opened. And on the left side, if you look at column 17 down, or row 17 down, those are all the expenses against the line account, or our main operating account. And we just had so many of them in this particular month because we didn't technically have a meeting last month.
Yeah.
Right.
So, we've gotten caught up on a bunch of things. The first item was the reimbursement from the baskets, and that's like the library, Penny Glassmeyer and Darian Bank. They, that's the money that they've paid for us to get them the baskets. And of those baskets, the only ones that we pay to maintain, we pay the Darian Bank. We maintain their baskets, but they pay us an additional. In that $3,099 is an additional $85 per basket for us to water their baskets. But the library does their own, as does Penny. And then we have Mo Green. We had a 50% payment. Mo Green was the company we used, the organic company that's doing the lawn care and things here at Town Hall for us. So we and the reason it only says 172 is because we split it between that and the capital account. So that, you'll see on the next page, the 520.32 is the other half of that. So it wasn't that it was that cheap, it's just split between the two, because it really is more of a capital thing that we're using that money left from the town hall money that was assigned to take care of the organic lawn care. So
it was for work here only
Right.
at Town Hall, and we couldn't use it anywhere else.
Right. So, and then we have K&K, that's Elder. That's he cleaned out and mulched and so forth and trimmed all the beds in Newroton Station. And then we have 2 entries for Gardner Center for Ilex. We did new Ilex in the town hall planters, and we also put the Ilex at Tilly Pond as well. And so we used, we had potting soil. We had to buy for that, and I filled those those buckets, those planters up with a whole lot of wood chips, so it's not a big waste of potting soil. And then, so Juliet and I did that Friday morning after we did the baskets. And then living environments, we paid Wilmer to clean up. He did a little bit of pruning at the butterfly garden. We just tidied that up in the spring. Then we had the balance of the hanging baskets, and that was $3,928. We sent the initial check in January, and that was on our January statement. This $39.28 included the, there was a fuel surcharge because of everything going on right now, and the shipping. But what we do with the other places that we order the baskets for, we increase what they pay. If the baskets cost us $36, we charge them a different price to help absorb the shipping, for the delivery and the fuel. So, and then there was a reimbursement to me. I bought the tent. I bought the spray paint for the baskets, tidied those up, and I've just been doing a whole lot of printing, so I put ink in there as well. So, then Juliet had a reimbursement for, she was at Earth Tones on 2 different occasions buying plants for the Newark Gardens as well as the Berm, and a couple things we filled in here at Town Hall. So we still have about almost $6,500 left on this past year's budget that we still have to pay Elder, and we have the things that we're gonna fill in the plantings that we'll do here, the cement beds, the cleanup of the swallow wart, additional work at the berm. So there's, so that's what will be left until we get our new money in July.
Yeah.
So
This will go quickly.
this will go pretty quickly.
Yes.
So that's it.
Thank you, Tracy, thanks. Now, is there anything I've forgotten? I made some notes on my agenda to make sure I remembered everything, but I think we've covered everything now. Nobody else leaving? Good. All right then, motion to adjourn. It's 11:05. Motion to adjourn.
I gotta go back to work.
Okay, Tracy. Seconded Sue. Thank you. All right, we're adjourned. Thank you very much, everyone.
All right, thank you.
Bye, Katie. Thank you.